Hello, my name is Abby, and I'm the owner of Stems Floral Design in Austin, Texas. And I am here today because I'm going to show you how our estimator program works. I love this program. I've been working on it for 14 years to get it just right. It's what we use every single day doing proposals for our business, and I hope it can help you too. So I'm going to open it up and show you what it does. So this is an Excel file, which is great because that means it's very simple to use and will probably integrate just perfectly with however you're currently doing your proposals. This is not what we send to the client. This is sort of the back end version of what we use to kind of come up with the numbers of what we're going to charge for everything, all the totals. And it's also kind of like a recipe to follow whenever we're making stuff in the studio. So I'm going to kind of go through all the different pages and what it can do for you. So down here you'll see different tabs. This is the main page. This is what you will spend most of your time on as you're kind of going back and forth with the client, making updates and changes. This is where the majority of the information gets entered and totaled. And I'm going to come back to this in more depth here in a minute. This is your order page. So this is where all of the flowers are going to automatically total for you for each event. So it's going to have all of the flower line items and how many you need to order and all of that stuff, and that gets automatically done for you. The supplies tab, same thing. This is where all your hard goods are going to get automatically totaled, like ribbon, vases, votives, all of that kind of stuff. And then this is your flower database tab. So all of the flowers here are going to be automatically entered for you, but you're going to have a tiny bit of homework to go in here and update the price that you charge for them. So everyone does this a little bit differently with different markups, and here is where you will edit the price that you charge for these flowers. And everything is by the stem or by the bunch or each or however they're sold. This is the price that you charge the client. This is the wholesale cost. And then this is the vendor that you get those things from. So once you have that in here, it will always be in here. So you only have to do this once, and it is a little bit of homework to get it done, but then it'll be in here and it's going to make things so much easier for you every time you put together a proposal. So the flowers are on top, and then the supplies are down here. So you will also have all of your supplies to enter in here. So things like votives, all your hard goods, things like that. And again, you'll put in here the price that you charge for each vase and all that kind of thing. So this is where your kind of database is, and this is what you will need to do to kind of get it up and running. But then once it's in here, it's going to automatically total and make your life so much easier. So now I'm going to walk you through like how it actually works. So it's a file, like I said, just an Excel file. You'll always, when you start a proposal, you'll want to save it, the client name or however, a code or however you do that for each of your events. I'll use my name, for example. And that way you don't write over your original file. And here is where we're going to get started. So if I'm putting together a proposal, quite often I'll be starting with like a bridal bouquet. So that's what we're going to start with here to show you how that works. This is the quantity. So we're going to do one bridal bouquet. Here's where I'm going to start typing in the flowers that I want to use, like hydrangea, jumbo white. We're going to use 2 of those, and they're $10 a stem. So it's going to automatically start totaling everything up for us as we go. Garden Rose Juliet. 5 of those. Let's do some spray roses. Here we go. So you can see everything just sort of automatically adds to your subtotal here. You can also put supplies into here. And to do that, you would do an S colon before it and say it's going to be like ribbon, have some specialty ribbon in there. Oh, and here is a good example of why this column exists. because I spelled something wrong, and so it didn't automatically pull it up for me, and so this turns kind of red. So let me try again. And there we go. So now you can tell that's kind of to alert you that like, hey, you did something wrong and it's not pulling up the price or being figured into the cost. So we're going to do 3 yards of this ribbon. And yeah, so that's how you can also enter in like flowers. Flowers are just typed normally. Supplies have an S colon in front of them to make sure that they pull it out of the order here and put it into the supply column. There's a third type as well that's an X colon, and this would be if you want to charge something, for example, something like labor, or anything really, but anything that you don't want to show up in either the order column or the supply column, you would put an X colon in front of. And this is something that you can also do. You can input this manually as well. So if it's not in your database and you want to just charge an extra $10 for labor, it's going to be something a little bit more labor intensive. You can manually enter in whatever you like here. So that's kind of how that works. I'm also going to do a centerpiece here for you to kind of show you a little bit more about how flowers and supplies kind of get integrated. So this is your column here is your quantity column. So say we wanted to do 10 centerpieces. We would enter that there. Let's do a compote, a gold compote. So that pulls up. We're going to have one of those. And then we're going to have some hydrangeas in there. Let's do 3 of those. And you'll notice too, as you, if you already have a flower in the proposal, it's going to pull up a lot faster than it was the first time you entered it. So it will go faster the second time. Let's see. So we've got those in there. I'm also going to show you how if you want to put something that's by the bunch, like for example, something like bay laurel, you can do, so that is $24 a bunch. You can do a third of a bunch, like 0.3 or 0.2 or 0.5 to factor that in as well. So say we want to do some votives as well. Again, you just do the S colon, and we want 4 of those. And that's kind of how it works. So you have your price here for the centerpiece, and then 10 of those get totaled here. Now, as you start going through the proposal and putting all this in, it's going to automatically subtotal up here. And everybody does this a little bit differently, so this is something that can be customized for you. But we have your subtotal here. Some people charge a design fee or labor fee of 30%, 20%, 15%, whatever that might be. The percentage here can kind of be adjusted. You also might charge things like after-hour fees or flip fees, or just any kind of additional fees can be manually entered as well, or credit card fees. Sales tax is automatically, of course, input as well. And then the grand total gets figured in here. So everything, once we get this set to however you do your system, it's going to automatically do this for you every single time. Also, the deposit can be factored in automatically as well. And so this is kind of how you input it. And here's the great part about it. So when you click on the orders tab, you're going to see here that all of the flowers and greenery and stuff that we have in the proposal is automatically totaled for you. So in this proposal so far, we're needing 32 jumbo white hydrangeas, 55 garden roses, 55 spray roses, and 3 bunches of bay laurel. So that's what you need. And in this column, you can write what you want to order. So things like 35 hydrangeas, 72 garden roses, 60 spray roses, and 4 bunches of bay laurel. And so you can go through and update that. This is the vendor that you get it from. So that is pulled from the database where you entered all of this in before. So it makes it really easy when you just want to copy and paste your order and put it into an email. You can do that. On this first page, if you have your events coded a certain way, like say you have um, a certain code that you use for a client, or a name, or however you want to title your event. If you put that in the first page, it's going to pull that on all of these other documents as well, so that it can stay organized when you're printing everything. This is usually where we put in the date that we're getting the flowers, our order date there. And so that's going to automatically be done for you. It's going to make ordering so much easier. And supplies is pretty much the same thing. So make this a little bit bigger so you can read it. So same thing, it's going to automatically total that you need 3 yards of this ribbon, you need 10 compotes, 40 cut glass votives, and all those kinds of things. So you can have a very easy, ready to go pull list to give to your staff. You can make notes here as well. There's additional columns just to help you out there. But everything just automatically gets added up for you. I think I forgot to mention about how there's a notes column here on this first page. So for example, here in this ribbon, you can write things like blush in the notes, and it's going to automatically put that in your supplies. So that's a way you can kind of make notes to yourself as you're going through the proposal. And yeah, so that's basically a rundown, a very brief rundown of kind of what it does. And when we send this program, it will have more detailed instructions of exactly how to do it. But I think this gives you a sense of what the program can do for you and how it can make your life a lot easier. So I hope you enjoyed it and let us know how we can help. Thanks so much.